Hi, this is Alan from Hourly, and today we're going to talk about Google Pay-Per-Click. So what is Google Pay-Per-Click? Google Pay-Per-Click or Google AdWords are the paid advertisements you find in the margins of the Google search results, either on the right side or the top or the bottom. And all you need to do is go to google.com/AdWords and go ahead and sign in with your Gmail account. You're going to go to campaign right here and select search networks only. Go ahead and click on that. Enter the name of your campaign. We're going to unclick the Google search network box. We're going to talk about that more a little bit later, but basically we want to limit our ads to people that are actually searching on Google and not third-party websites. And finally, if your goal is to just have people call in rather than click through to your website, let's say your goal is to generate leads that actually call your company to ask questions, to get a free consultation, or for you to be able to convert over the phone with a sales pitch, then you can consider selecting call only, and this will create ads that people click on it and it causes their mobile device to go ahead and call your company phone number. And that's how you get charged. Instead of cost per click, you're going to get charged cost per call-in. If you're a local business like a restaurant or some sort of local service industry, or you have a school that's local, etc., and all your clients are local, then you're going to want to geo-target your ads to just that location. So by default it may have the United States checked off, but if you're like a bakery in Los Angeles, then there's no real point to doing that, and you want to limit your ads to just the city that you're in. That way you're not wasting precious advertising dollars for people that don't even live in your state. So what should your budget be? So to get your suggested starting bid, you can take your conversion rate times the lifetime value. So for example, if a customer spends $50 on the first purchase but comes back over the life of that relationship with your business to spend a total of $550, then their lifetime value would be $600. So if you have a 5% conversion rate, the lifetime value of a new customer is $50. Then the highest you would want to initially bid would be $2.50, because that would be 5% of the lifetime value, which is $50, which is $2.50. So 0.05 times $50 equals $2.50. So that is your break-even point. You're spending on marketing, and then you're breaking even from the customers that you convert from that advertising campaign. But you are acquiring new customers as well. So you can, in order to test your campaign, you can set your monthly budget to achieve around 500 clicks. To hit your break-even cost per click, you take your conversion rate times the per unit profit. So you're not taking into account the lifetime value, you just want to break even immediately on these conversions from the campaign. So that would be a 10% conversion rate times, let's say, $20 profit per sell. And so your break-even cost per click would be $2. So then you move forward with setting up your first AdWords campaign. You can select English if that's what your clientele speaks. You can set your cost per click bid limit, or you can just leave that blank and let Google figure that out. Set your budget per day. So whatever you feel comfortable with, whatever you can afford, or whatever achieves you 500 clicks a month. So there's something called quality score, and that's Google's algorithm that approximates how likely your ad is to be clicked on when displayed in the search results that you are targeting. So you can be precise and specific with your keywords, your text ads, and landing pages. And just because people are more likely to click on your ad, it doesn't necessarily mean that there's going to be a conversion. So in that sense, it's probably more important to focus on what converts rather than just what people will click on, because then you're just wasting dollars on people that don't actually want what you offer. Ad extensions can add more context and content to your ads. Like, you can add a call button that when people see your ad on a mobile device, they can click that button and a call can be forwarded to you. So if your business heavily relies on lead generation, like for people that want to sell their car or looking for some sort of specific service and you want them to call into your company directly so you can answer the questions and pitch to them, then this would be a way to go. You can add site linking extensions, locations, call extensions we talked about, app extensions, reviews, call outs. So in an ad group, you can add 5 to 10 keywords. You just go to your accounts, then click on campaign, then ad groups. So ad groups should be different ways to describe the campaign's main idea. So you're just targeting different niches within that campaign. So for example, if you were to advertise hourly.com, you can have your ad group to target just people interested in search engine optimization rather than social media, which would be maybe a different ad campaign. So when you type in a broad match keyword like internet marketing, you end up with everything on the right. So things like marketing firm would have no value to us in looking for users unless that marketing firm had people that still want to learn SEO. And here's an exact match keyword phrase. So instead of just writing search engine optimization, we add these square brackets around it, telling Google that we only want the ad to show to people that actually type in that exact 3 words in that order within the Google query box. So it gets very specific about who we want to see the ad. So we're not getting clicked on by other marketing agencies in our city that probably won't want to become our customer, obviously. So those are just wasted dollars. We'll talk a little bit more about that as well. So you can just click on match types and Google will explain that to you too. So call extension we touched on briefly. If you're like a local company or a service-based company, you may want calls coming in through that ad extension. When you write your ad, it's all about sales copy, so you can check out the sales copy in the hourly library and they can talk about that. But you want your headline to be, it's going to be around 25 characters or less. It has to be attention grabbing, like ask a question or have some sort of bold statement. Get into the heart of what your customer is searching for. The description has 2 lines of text that are displayed underneath the headline. So you're going to answer like, what is it? Why should they click on it? And use the keywords that your audience are going to be searching for in Google. The URL is your website address. You're gonna have to include that as well, and you can just have it display one that's actually shorter than the actual one. So if you're linking people to an inside page that has some crazy URL, you can shorten it. Dynamic keywords within your ad copy can be done by using these commands right here, these brackets, and then when you type in buy keyword :chocolate, then AdWords will replace that keyword phrase chocolate with one in your ad group as well. So it could be like dark chocolate, sugar-free chocolate, and if it can, it'll just go to the default of chocolate. So that way it can have like multiple types of ad copy that your audience might type into Google to look for. So when it matches exactly what they're looking for, it may increase the likelihood that they're going to click on your ad. So let's go back to keyword match types. So we talked about broad. That's when you just type in the keyword without any sort of brackets around it. Then Google has the ability to change out that word with anything that's like a close synonym. So it may not be anything related to what your audience is looking for. So if we're typing in like internet marketing, and then it starts to match people that are typing in marketing agency or something like that, it may not be as targeted as someone who's typing in learn search engine optimization with brackets around it, so it's an exact match. So there's like broader modifiers, like if you put a plus sign in front of the keyword phrase, then that keyword phrase has to be somewhere in the search, whether it's in the beginning, the end, or in the middle. So it gives Google some flexibility, but still has the keyword phrase that you're actually wanting the customer to type into Google. So phrase match, you put quotes around your keyword phrase, and then Google can add words either in front of the phrase or behind the phrase. But your phrase has to be there in that order. Exact match we already talked about already. That's when you put the square back brackets around the keyword phrase, and then that user has to type in that exact phrase with nothing else around it in order for them to be shown the ad. Negative match, if there's any keyword phrases that you don't want to be in the search query of your customer, then you can put a minus sign in front of that. So let's say we're just talking about our new SEO lecture, and we don't want people that are interested in social media to be shown our ad, then we might put minus social media, and then people that are typing in social media won't be shown our SEO ad. So here you can see this is where you type in the URL, type in your 2 lines of ad copy, and then type in your URL as well. And we're gonna uncheck mobile because just for purposes of this lecture, we're gonna say something like, well, maybe the registration process takes a long time and it's complex, and so maybe if it's difficult to do on a mobile device, then we would uncheck this. Whereas if the registration process is simple, then maybe people on mobile devices could easily register with like a couple clicks of a button. Then we would include mobile devices. Go ahead and hit save and finish if you're happy with the way the ad looks. And now you see it in your ad group, and you can track how many people are clicking, how many times it's shown to people, how many times people click through, the average cost per click. So here are some resources. If you want to do some research on your competitors and see how they're doing their ad campaigns, you can go to SpyFu or SEMrush. You type in your competitor's website address, and you can see like their daily spend, the text to ads, and destination URLs that they're using. You can use the Google Keyword Planner. So just go to Google, type in the Google Keyword Planner. You can get some ideas of what kind of keyword phrases that your customers are typing into Google to find what you offer. And if you want to learn more about that, you should check out the SEO lecture in the hourly library. So now we want to optimize your campaign. You can go to Keyword Report and click on Search Terms and go to the Details drop-down. Observe your click-through rates and consider pausing any keywords that are not performing well or don't really match what you're selling. Once you get like 100 impressions, you can get an idea about how the keyword phrase is performing. You can see which campaigns and ad groups are driving the most interested users, you can do a split test, like an A/B split test. You take two ads and you run them at the same time and see which one performs better. You can pause the one that's not performing well and replace it with a new ad. You can do that with like different landing pages. Like you can compare two landing pages and see which one converts better and pause the one that's not doing well. So retargeting or remarketing allows you to serve banner ads to people that have visited your site previously. So the idea behind that is that it may take several times, maybe even up to 7 times before you build enough trust and get into the psychology of your user that they actually make a buying decision. So if people visit your site once, they get a cookie placed on their computer and they get shown a similar ad from you or the same ad from you again, so that they just get used to seeing it and it's more likely that they're going to convert. So you can just go to that URL right there and that will explain how to set up your retargeting or remarketing campaign. So here are some things to watch out for. We touched on them before already, but it's important to like not waste your Google pay-per-click dollars. And here are some things to watch out for. So for example, it's probably a good idea to avoid using just all broad search keyword terms. So like you don't want like a kung fu school being replaced with karate school if you're looking for a very specific audience. So you can avoid that by using those brackets, the quotes, the plus, the minus sign to make your AdWord campaign more targeted instead of just getting all these random clicks that you're paying for. You want to make sure you geo-target. So like we said before, if you're located in Los Angeles, then just market to people in Los Angeles. If your business is national, then just stick to the United States. If it's international, then go ahead and let it go free. You want to turn off the search and display option. So like we said before, you don't want your ads showing up on these third-party websites. The conversion rate can be lower sometimes and you have no real control about which sites they end up on, so it may not be even related to your business unless you really want to go in there and start doing some optimizing with these third-party websites. Otherwise, just go ahead and just turn that off. I do advertise on third-party websites, but I usually work out a deal specifically with that site and that webmaster for like a banner ad or something. You want to go back and review the sites in your network. If you are going to use the search and display option by going to Tools and Analysis, Display Planner, enter the keyword phrase, and you get a bunch of group ideas, and you can click on Placement tab. You can select which sites to exclude from the display network and then deactivate them by following those steps. And this is how you exclude sites from the display network if you're using that option. So let's talk about enhanced campaigns, where your ads are being shown on mobile devices like smartphones, tablets. But let's say your site is not mobile friendly or requires a checkout process that is like long and involved and people really need a keyboard at a desktop to be able to complete it. Or you're targeting an audience that are mostly on desktops and you're going to want to turn off the mobile device ads. And one way you can do that is you go to create your campaign, select search network only, like we talked about before. Under devices, it will state ads will show on all types of devices. Then you go back to the campaign name, click on Settings tab, scroll to devices and click Change Mobile Bid Adjustment. Go to mobile devices and click the box Bid Adjust and select Decrease Buy and enter 100%. So you're decreasing the amount of money that you spend on mobile devices for ads by 100%. That way you're focusing your campaign on desktops only. So just reiterating, make sure your ad is geo-targeted, that you decide whether you want to target mobile or desktops. And then you can increase your AdWords to target people at specific times. So you can't include your phone number in the ad, but you can include call extensions as an ad extension. So this will forward calls through a Google forwarding number or through your own phone call, and you get charged per phone call. Here are some more resources you can check out. So if you want to look at Google partners, you can go to that URL. Here's the address for SpyFu and keywordspy.com. If you need support, you can go to support.google.com/AdWords. The AdWords blog can be found at adwords.blogspot.com. SEMrush.com helps you do some competitor analysis. Here's a bid calculator to help you calculate that. Even if you're an agency, you can join the Engage program at google.com/ad/engage. So if you have any more questions, you can find us at hourly.com, and you have any more questions, you can just go ahead and post them into the group forum.